Are you going to vote for this?
Look, I'm still reviewing the stopgap bill. I'm very concerned with some of the responses that we've already heard from folks across different parts of the country to many aspects that were included in the CR that I'm surprised so many Republicans also supported, rather than negotiating with Speaker Johnson to be able to ensure that veterans and others were going to be held harmless with the devastation we see coming from Musk and others. So still taking a close look at that. As you know, I've always said shutdowns are bad. We're seeing what the market's doing to pensions this week, and other uncertainty in the markets will just hurt people that have been playing by the rules and working hard. So that's also a concern that I'll be taking into consideration.
What would be worse, a shutdown or the CR?
They're both horrible. The way that this CR was drafted, a shutdown potentially could empower Musk to go after more people. So look, I think these are two bad products, bad environments that provide more chaos and uncertainty to the American people. But in the end, looking at which would be worse for constituents back home is how I'm going to be looking at this, and weighing other aspects that we're seeing that are being revealed, hour by hour, it seems like.
What would your voters say if you guys pass the CR and really get nothing in return? And this is your one piece of leverage. What if you get nothing in return? What will your voters say?
Well, look, Republicans are in charge of the House. Republicans are in charge of the Senate. Republicans have the White House. With power comes responsibility. And I think people are seeing clearly that Speaker Johnson didn't even want to negotiate with his Republican colleagues in the Senate, much less anyone else. They should have come together because there was a willingness to get things done. And by the way, when Patty Murray and Rosa DeLauro, two Democratic colleagues, introduced a 30-day stopgap to say, hey, let's work to get this done, I think I'm hearing more and more that all the appropriators, Democrats and Republicans, have an agreement. So why not allow for the appropriations bills, which provide more certainty to the American people, provide support for projects that were built from the ground up all across America? I don't know why no one's asking the appropriators if they have an agreement or not. That should have been what was on the floor over the next week, as opposed to all of this nonsense going back and forth.
Will there be a backlash if you guys let this pass?
Look, I think people are going to have opinions, rightfully so, one way or the other. And they're both correct. Both of these are bad tools. So let's see what happens here as this vote gets closer, as well as we're all reviewing it. But in the end, I certainly hope people take note at what House Republicans did here in ignoring everyone else, and rather than moving important pieces of legislation that would not be devastating to folks, provide more certainty to veterans, that's where folks should be pushing as well. So look, people out there across the country are concerned, some of them angry, and for the right reasons. We need to be listening to them and make sure that everything we're doing is reflecting what they're teaching us and what they're telling us, because they're living it. They're feeling this in their day-to-day lives.
Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Yes, y'all take care.